Mama June gives surprise advice to Todd and Julie Chrisley. Mama June Shannon has given surprising advice to Todd and Julie Chrisley. June is no stranger to jail and doing illegal things. However, she shockingly had some advice for the recently pardoned couple. She has been vocal about their pardon, and fans are not too sure how she feels about it. However, she had a lot to say to them. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Todd and Julie Chrisley back home with family. Todd and Julie Chrisley were in federal prison for 2.5 years. However, last week, Donald Trump personally called Savannah and Grayson Chrisley to let them know that he was going to be pardoning their parents. The next day, Savannah picked up Todd from his prison in Pensacola, while Grayson picked up Julie from her prison in Kentucky. The two are now home with each other and their children. This is the best thing that has happened to their family in a while. Mama June knows a little about this. She was arrested for having illegal drugs on her. She also struggled with addiction and had her youngest child taken away from her. So she is no stranger to this life. Mama June Shannon gives them surprising advice. Mama June Shannon has given Todd and Julie Chrisley some surprising advice. It is up to the Chrisleys if they want to take Mama June's advice or not. However, she just wanted them to know that if they get in trouble again, they will not have small consequences. It seems as though Mama June wants Todd and Julie to remember that next time, they cannot get off this easily. However, they are still denying doing anything wrong in the first place. If they did do it, they definitely will not be doing it again. Mama June wants them to think about their actions and learn from them as she has done before. The faded Georgia sun was just starting to rise over the tall pine trees when Mama June Shannon's phone buzzed with a notification that made her squint and snort laugh. Todd and Julie Chrisley file another appeal. The headline read. She tossed the phone on the kitchen table next to her half-drunk Diet Coke and muttered, "Lord, these Chrisleys just won't quit." Mama June, now in what she liked to call her glow-up redemption era, had been staying sober, filming motivational TikToks, and even dabbling in giving out unsolicited advice to other fallen reality stars. But this morning felt different. There was something tugging at her deep down in her gut, like a bad gas bubble or divine inspiration. She needed to reach out to Todd and Julie. It wasn't that she and the Chrisleys were close. In fact, they'd never actually met. But reality TV stardom was a small universe, and they'd exchanged shade more than once through mutual interviews. Still, Mama June felt a strange kinship to the now incarcerated Southern couple. Maybe it was the accent, or maybe it was the shared experience of public downfall. Either way, June opened her notes app and started to type. An open letter from Mama June to Todd and Julie Chrisley. Y'all, I say this with love, and maybe a little tough love at that. I never thought I'd be the one writing advice letters to people in federal prison, but hey, life comes at you fast. One minute you're snatching wigs on reality TV, the next you're in rehab wondering how you got here. Sound familiar? Todd, Julie, I see you. I really do. You're in that phase where the denial is loud and the jumpsuits are orange. Trust me, I've walked through my own fire. Addiction, scandals, courtrooms, betrayal by family, and waking up in a Waffle House booth at 4 a.m. with glitter on my eyebrows and no memory of how I got there. But the key to redemption, it ain't just in an appeal. It's in surrender. Let me break it down for you real simple. Prison might be the best thing that's ever happened to you. I know. That sounds crazy. But sometimes the walls closing in are exactly what we need to finally shut up and listen. You can't finesse your way through life forever. You tried. You built your brand on Southern charm, pastel sweaters, and fake it till you make it energy. But now that everything's stripped away, Now is when the real work begins. Julie, honey, if you're baking cookies for the guards and leading Bible study, that's great. But don't forget to bake some humility into your next batch. And Todd, I know you're used to being the center of attention, but prison ain't a Bravo reunion. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing. You need to sit still. You need to get real. You need to figure out who y'all are without the cameras, without the gloss, without the money. Now, I'm not just preaching. I'm living proof that a hot mess can turn into a cautionary tale. And then, if you're lucky, into a comeback. I ain't perfect, but I'm better than I was. And I didn't get here by whining about how unfair life was. I got here by admitting I messed up. Loudly, publicly. Ugly cried on TV, kinda messed up. And that's when the healing started. You don't need another fancy lawyer. You need a spiritual accountant. Someone who'll tell you where your soul is bankrupt. And please stop thinking you're gonna walk out of this with the same platform you had before. The world's changed. Your audience is different. They've seen the real you now, the raw and the reckless. But if you're honest with them, like really honest, they'll still show up. Because guess what? People love a comeback story, especially one with sequins, southern sass, and genuine transformation. So here's my unsolicited advice. Todd, stop worrying about your hair. Julie, stop micromanaging your prison schedule like it's a PTA fundraiser. Instead, dig deep. Write letters to your kids that aren't performative. Pray without asking for something in return. And when you're released, stay off the red carpet for a minute. Go volunteer. Go work at a food bank. Let people see the change before you start marketing it. You've had your show. Now it's time to do the real work, the kind nobody claps for. You got this, but only if you stop acting like victims and start acting like students. The universe gave you a timeout. Use it. From one reality mess to another, Mama June. June set the phone down, reread the letter, and smiled. It felt good to speak her truth. She knew Todd would probably roll his eyes and Julie might clutch her pearls. But deep down, she hoped they'd hear her. Later that night, Pumpkin caught her mama scrolling through Twitter, smirking. "Mama, what are you doing?" "Just checking if Todd Chrisley blocked me yet." Pumpkin raised an eyebrow. Again, June laughed, the kind of belly laugh that came with growth and grief. "I just dropped a little wisdom. They'll thank me later. Or not. Either way, I said what I said." And somewhere in a federal prison library, Todd Chrisley finally got his hands on a printed copy of the letter, delivered anonymously by a sympathetic guard who whispered, "Y'all Southern folk gotta stick together." Todd read it silently, jaw clenched, then passed it to Julie without a word. Julie read it, blinked twice, and whispered, "Did Mama June just become our prison life coach?" Todd sighed. God help us all. But he didn't throw the letter away. He folded it, put it in his Bible, and underlined a passage about humility for the first time in a long while. Turns out, even in prison, redemption starts with the unexpected.